Hello everybody, my name is Freya and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing what your subclass says about you. This is a continuation of the series we've been doing beforehand, and you know what, let's just get straight into it. First off, we're going to be going with the good old Void subclass for Titan, and to be pinpoint accurate, this is actually meant to be more what your super says about you. So we're doing Ward of Dawn. If you're using Ward of Dawn, you're most likely nowadays, to be honest, just using it in PvP, in trials, or in some sort of like capping an important zone for like competitive, something like that. And you know it annoys everyone, you know it kind of cheats the game. You most likely run conditional finality so you can counter anyone else using it, but you love being able to sit in there knowing full well you can cap the zone for your team and win the round. Before we get on to our next one, I'd like to say I'd really appreciate if you guys could help me reach 600 subs. I reckon we can do it by the end of the year. It'd be amazing if we can. Anyway, now going on to Sentinel Shield. If you're using Sentinel, you've used it since it came out back in D2 Vanilla. You love the idea of being Captain America, and nowadays you've probably just gone back to using Shield Bash with Peregrine on, and you're sat there being a little. There's no way to describe you nicely for what you do to me when I play a game. But if you're a Sunbracer, especially a Burning Maul player, you love just being the high DPS of a Titan. You know that Curus existed, but Arc was never for you. You preferred the Bonk Hammer, and now that the new Gauntlet's out from last season, they just make it even better for you because it does allow you to hit that top DPS that you've always dreamed for. Going on to Code of the Missile, aka Thunder Crash, you probably watch a lot of random montages of people doing insane clips of it in PvP. That, or you're one of the players that really need to learn that you can actually curve it and kill people by going past them and not one-tapping them. But if you're someone that can sit there and look at Thunder Crash and decide, no, you'd rather use Fist of Havoc, you 100% having played since Destiny 1, you've always been an Arc Titan. Even when it was single slam, and you never stop bringing that up to people. You most likely got very good at soldiers charging everyone. You definitely run Juggernaut as well. If you run Behemoth on stasis, hopefully you're running my build. But at the same time, if you're using PvP and not PvE, you're most likely a little twat. That's the only way to put it. You loved freezing people back in Beyond Light, and you miss how strong it was. If you're using PvE though, you just love having a fun build. And if you're using Berserker, well, there's only one aspect you actually care about, and that is Banner of War. If you don't use Banner of War, where are you? Do you even actually exist these days? But we can never really fault a Blaze of Fury user, because it is strong. Don't get me wrong, you probably love soloing dungeons when holding your navigator. But, oh well, that's just the state of the game, and it's how you play. You know that's the case. Going on to Warlock now, though. If you're using Well of Radiance, I feel bad for you, because, as I say in the thumbnail, you were forced. And that's only if you're using a PvE for most raid or dungeon bosses. But if you're using PvP, you're the exact same as the bubble user. There is no difference, other than the fact that you love being able to shoot out of it more consistently. But if you're using PvE, that is your true help for the team. If you weren't forced into it, just had it already equipped, even better. But I do feel bad because to quote widely reloaded, a Warlock is born to Nova, but gets forced to well. And I hope when the new subclass comes out, you guys can hopefully use something different. If you're using Dawnbreak though, Daybreak, I love you. You are a swordy boy. You must likely adored watching old Sir D videos, and you fly on the map doing all sorts. Sorry that there's no clip for it though. And now to go on to Stormcaller. Mostly Chaos Reach off bat. If you're using Chaos Reach, you remembered when it would shoot through rules and you could use Geomags to just up it all the time. You most likely gave up on using it in PvP, but you are glad that all those fake pretenders stopped using your subclass since you got nerfed, and now only the true players can use it. But you're probably used to doing exactly what I do here, where you get one person and the other person just hides and you can no longer get them. It's sad that it happens, but oh well. If you're using Storm Trance though, I love you. It's amazing. It's always fun being Emperor Palpatine. There's no super on Warlock. I actually just prefer the look of when you pop it more. Yeah, we're getting on some of my favorites now. Here's Nova Bomb. If you're using Nova Bomb, you're probably using Child of the Old Gods to go with, and you've got a clip of it tracking someone around the map because you suppress them and they can just about not get away. But you do hate it whenever someone shoots it. But if you're using Nova Warp, what are you, TDT? Probably using the is it Processor Veil? Something like that. That's how you say it. I actually really haven't tried out the supers since Forsaken, basically. So basically from since Nerf, and I've got to admit, one of the most fun supers in PP, and if used properly, can be super strong. This was my first match of it, and I didn't expect it to do so well. I can only imagine the scary amount of clips you good players have of it, where you've popped around and got six, maybe even like a seventh column match, to be fair, because that is clearly something you can do. Going on to Shademiner though, Ozyromancies might as well be stuck to you. Same with Bleak Rotcher. It is the only aspect you actually care about. It is the aspect everyone uses. But if you're using it in PvP, you most likely have a clip of you freezing someone with your Rift and then getting a kill. And for you to have clipped it, it's got to nowadays be 4 to 5 people being frozen at once. I still get annoyed when I see you, as do the entire, the entire PvP community. But you know how strong it is. You know it counters wells. You know it counters bubbles. So you use it for the fun. And if you're using Needle Storm, well, what can I say other than you actually like doing DPS on Warlock. And if you're using it in PvP, you're a menace for Threadlings. Same with the Strand Hunters. All you do is Threadlings, and everyone on Twitter currently is hating you. You most likely are running a poison build with Thorn in PvE, and then you decided to bring it over to PvP and saw how good Thorn was with it. Necrotic Grips is your go-to. Going on to Hunter now, if Gunslinger, aka just mainly Blade Barrage, is your main, you actually just used to do a lot of Vogue, where you could use Shard of Ganon or Blade Barrage, and when doing Avion, get your super out about 3 times. If you're using a PvP, you're using it for the fact that it's a shutdown, and that is it. Otherwise, you'd rather be running Golden Gun for the sake of the higher chance of getting multiple kills consistently. But if you are using Golden Gun, you sit there and you've learned every little spawn on the map. So you know exactly when to pin people and where to shoot to keep them stuck in their spawn when you have your super. You really keep trying for those clips of people getting a 7th column or Ghost Knight with just their Golden Gun. That is your dream. And if you've done that already, you've posted that shit straight to YouTube and sent it into everyone's Discord servers in like rate my clips. If you're not using it for the supers but for the throwing knife, Arthur's Embrace is your favourite exotic on the entire game. But now going on to Night Stalker. If you're using a tether, either one, doesn't really matter. There's something a little bit wrong with you. But it kind of goes the same with the other subclass anyway, not other subclass, other super. Because you're not using it for the super, it just happens to be there. You're probably just running tether for the fact that you can get others out of their super. You're using it for the invis, and only the invis. But finally, for the light subclasses, if you're using Arc Strider, you're most likely using Gathering Storm, because I don't see anyone running the other super anymore. If you do, comment down below. But if you're using Gathering Storm, you're most likely using it because you love being the person that gets the most DPS in every raid team. You've made your fucking shit pinpoint so you can get the most. And if you're using Revenant, what can I say except for I don't mind you mid-game unless you shatter like me consistently, because that shit just brings back traumatic memories of Beyond Light. But I hate your super in PvP with a passion. This shit annoys me more than anyone else. And not even because I die to it that much anymore, it's because I can't use it. As you can see here, I get one dude, and I just feel like it does not track when I'm using it, but it tracks whenever anyone else is. You know full well that you could die and that super is going to go around on a short range map and just hunt everyone. And you laugh at that because it means you have to do no work after you've got your super out. If you're using Thread Runner, aka just Silk Strike, you you're something else in PvP. You most likely end up running a fuck ton of what they call threadlings, like I said when doing the Warlock, but you also have the option of just being a complete chaotic man, like I do when I use it, of running a knucklehead radar build and using grapple so you can just get in the air and get as many chances at a freaking no scope as possible. If you're doing that, I love you. But if you're using a PvE, I actually question why. I see a lot of people doing it. I don't know what about it. But if you guys have enjoyed this video, I hope to see you all in the next one. Please don't forget to like and sub. We're so close to 600. See you in the next video. Peace.